right, man. Thank you very much. My name is Tracy McCray. I'm currently a sergeant, and I've been with the police department 25 years. Well, I grew up in West Side Projects, so I grew up in the public housing development. All my life, born and raised in San Francisco, never wanted to leave. The whole city, I feel like, is my home.
My name is Yosef Azim, and I'm a Q2 police officer.
You all right, buddy?
I'm actually an Afghan American.
Champion, what's up?
My name is Mike Maloney. I'm a police officer assigned to Mission Station. How's everything going?
All right, how about you?
Good, good. How's business today?
It's all right.
Yeah.
I come from a single family household. I was raised by my mother. My father wasn't around when I grew up.
We call Public Works, had a conversation.
I told them over and over and over.
My mother at the time worked for the department as a dispatcher. So from age 10 or 11, I got to meet San Francisco police officers and really admired them.
It's small things.
Small things.
Small things.
My dad was a police officer, so I'm second generation. Born and raised in San Francisco. I lived in the Bay View primarily.
You always looked up to police as role models. I mean, you were always a little bit afraid of police officers because you didn't want to get in any type of trouble or anything like that.
Growing up, I didn't like the police, and my perception was bad. And I never had any encounters with the police. It was based on either friends or family that actually came in contact with police officers.
This your good hand? Yeah. How's it look? My name is Glenn Holden. I'm with the United Players. We grew up in an era with Black Panther Party, Brown Berets, and we were always at odds with the police, especially at all our functions, our dances, our barbecues.
Growing up, just, stay away from them, really couldn't trust them.
A lot of times they come into the public housing and they treat people like dirt. You have officers that come in who are, I'm the cop, I got the badge, you're gonna do what I say, and that's in the conversation. Don't nobody respect those.
Sometimes we'll run through a neighborhood to do something, and then it's all done out of sight of the people that you disturbed. If you don't take the time to go back and say, hey, is everyone okay? Hey, we're sorry, or even make some eye contact. You've just left uncertainty in your wake. You've left damage in your wake.
I think they're too excited. We must ask. I have always worked to make things better for young people. The standard quote is, I don't trust police. I don't like cops. I don't trust cops. And then the conversation begins is why. It's always why. And they'll talk about things that they've seen happen to others, things that have happened to themselves.
When I first got on the streets, it was interesting. People didn't like me and didn't have any clue of who I was, but the fact that I wore this uniform, they didn't like me.
In this area, I would say it's a mixed feeling. The officers will go out and tutor the kids. They will go out and play on the field with them.
We partner with the police, and so we've long been working with them to really talk about how we build community relations and how we work together, that it's not just about like arrest and negative impact.
In many ways, we've come a long way. In other ways, people are frustrated. Black Lives Matter, and you look at the statistics, you look at the videos, and you see it happening now.
I would say in the last few years, it's grown greatly to the number of people that you walk by or that you drive by and they put their hands up in the air or they flip you off or they yell rude things at you.
We go to these calls and there might be, a rowdy crowd and they'll say, oh, you're a sellout, you're this, you're that, because they only see the uniform sometimes.
And the trust has been damaged, and trust is everything in this job.
And so the question, I think, for those of us on the commission and those of us who are leaders in the city is, how do we acknowledge that and chart a path forward?
This is where I grew up, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it.
My name is Harry Soulette. I was in the San Francisco Police Department for 31 years and retired in 2013. I grew up in the Mission, 16th and Guerrero. I was sitting talking with Yulanda Williams, And we started formulating this Not on My Watch. I wanted to be able to reshape the image that the public, that the community has of the officer, from being an enforcer to being a guardian.
Hello, how are you?
It states to the citizens that I am going to treat them with dignity and respect. I am going to treat them the way I would want them to treat me.
When I read it, I thought, hey, you know, it'd be so important for everybody to just hear us say the words, hear us actually say who we are, to remind ourselves.
I, Officer Mike Maloney,
pledge to serve the people of San Francisco
faithfully and honestly,
without prejudice.
I will not tolerate hate or bigotry
in our community or from my fellow officers.
I will confront intolerance
and report any such conduct
without question or pause.
I will maintain the integrity of the San Francisco Police Department
and safeguard the trust of the people of San Francisco.
I will treat members of the community
as I would hope to be treated myself.
I will pursue justice with compassion
and respect the dignity of others.
For those who would suggest
there is any place
for the stain of intolerance,
I pledge not on my watch.
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 I think the pledge is really cool.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
It's well written, it's appropriate language, and I believe that every member of the San Francisco Police Department should take this pledge.
It's just recognizing that sometimes your own implicit biases need to be guarded against. And then those that are intolerant or bigots, they need to be called out for what they are.
I think it's a great pledge. I think it's a great beginning.
I love it. It sounds good. But how is it going to be enforced?
The pledge don't mean nothing to me if you can't put it in action. So, you know, actions speak louder than words.
I understand that completely, and what I've seen in San Francisco is we actually do have structures to hold power to account.
Within the police department, you can file an EEO if you don't want to file it within the police department. At City HR, you can go to the Office of Citizens Complaints and register it there. Just don't keep it to yourself. Don't let such things as intolerance and bigotry fester because it harms.
I think it's awesome.
I love the pledge. It's what I do now.
I think it's something that we definitely need right now.
This is the basic fundamentals that we need to follow while policing every day.
It can only have a positive effect on the people that we serve.
At the same time, we're encouraging them to trust us.
All academy graduations will now include this pledge so that they hit the ground running.
Tonight we'll be doing something new at this graduation for the first time. An idea came from members of the rank and file that we should take a pledge recommitting ourselves to serve the people of San Francisco faithfully and honestly without prejudice.
I will confront intolerance and report any such conduct without question or cause. I will maintain the integrity of the San Francisco Police Department and safeguard the trust of our cities. I will treat members of the community as I hope to be treated myself. I will pursue justice with compassion and respect the dignity of others. For those who suggest there's any place to stain of intolerance, I pledge not on my watch.